Hey guys, it's Mick Elliot here, author of the Squidge and Turner's books, and I'm very excited to give you a couple of writing tips that hopefully will help you with your write a book in a day entry. Now, one of the things that you have to include in your story is a non-human character. But what does that mean? Well, it's exactly what it says. It's simply a character that isn't human. And there are lots and lots of great examples of non-human characters in books and films. I've actually got a non-human character that features very, very heavily in the Squidge series. And you can actually see that non-human character right here on the cover. It's this little pufferfish called Bubble O'Gill. That is a pufferfish who is the class pet in the Squidge series. Now, Bubble O'Gill never speaks. He doesn't actually have anything to say, or she. I actually don't know if it's a he or a she. But plays a very, very important part in the book series, simply by the way the other characters, the kids in the books, interact and react to things that happen to Bubble O'Gill. So a really good example there of a non-human character. In the Turner's series, some of the baddies in the books are actually half human, half snakes. They're called Viper Men. So not really humans at all. But again, just an example of making some villains who seemed all the more evil because they're actually half lizard, half snake. An example of two of my favorite non-human characters actually come from a film series that I love and I'm sure that you guys all know. And it's these two characters here, R2-D2 and C-3PO. Robots, of course, they're non-humans, or droids as they're called in the films. But we've got one character who talks a lot. C-3PO is always anxious, he's always worried about what's going to happen. And then R2-D2, who we all know is very brave, very industrious, very inventive, but only ever speaks in beeps and boops. And you might also know the character of Chewbacca from Star Wars, another non-human character. And you might find it hard to believe that originally George Lucas, who created Star Wars, planned that Chewbacca would actually speak and have lines and talk to Han and Luke and Leia, just like everybody else. And in fact, when they filmed the first movie, Chewbacca actually talked. And then they decided, you know what? We're just going to make him talk like a big dog. But another example of a great non-human character. Now, we often think with non-human characters that it means that our stories have to be funny or they have to be silly or that a non-human character has to bring comedy, but they don't at all. A non-human character could be in a very serious story. It could be, say, a spider sitting in the corner of a room, and our main character could be looking at that spider all the time and worried about that spider and worried that spider is going to somehow interact with them in some way. That spider is still a character, but we don't have to make it a comedy character. So your non-human character can be anything. It could be a train like Thomas the Tank Engine. It could be a droid like R2-D2 or C-3PO. It could be a fish like Bubble O'Gill in the Squidge series. Or it could be a character that is something completely different, like a rock or a tree. Or it could be a ghost even. It can be anything at all that you assign characteristics to. It just has to be a character that the other characters either react to in some way, or that sometimes we might switch to that character's point of view, that non-human character. We might go, what are they thinking? So it can be anything. It can be serious. It can be funny. It can be comic. But the most important thing is that that character helps to move your story along and that they have some part to play in your story. I hope those tips help you to make your Write a Book in the Day story as outstanding as they can be. And I can't wait to once again be one of the judges choosing some of the winners in the competition this year. Best of luck, guys. Get writing.